And you're live on Joy News today. Let's go back to Makola, where the fire is still raging after 2 hours. Manuel Kranting is with us. Manuel, when we last came to you, you spoke to some persons who had gathered round the fire and were concerned about the damage. Has any progress been made, Manuel?
Well, Daniel, the fire is still blazing well over 3 hours since it began. Well, fresh details that we are getting on the grounds this afternoon indicates that, well, the three-story building, as you can see in your shot, actually has a basement. Now, the fire has dropped and there are sort of droppings within the basement. And so as the fire is being fought from the top, there are explosions that are coming from beneath the building, and that's been really the reason for the difficulty in dousing the flames. Or this was actually a revelation that we're just learning of in just the past couple of minutes, and that's what we're bringing to you now. Now, from some eyewitnesses that I spoke to just before we came to you live, they said in just about a few minutes to the beginning of the fire, the lights went out within the avenue. And as typical as it is of the shops at the Makola market, there are generators which are filled with fuel. And so somebody attempted to spark one of the generators, and that was really, from what we are learning on the ground this afternoon, was the cause of the fire. But as you've already been told in the past couple of hours, that fire was really a little fire. It took the delay of the fire service. Of course, we've also been told by the mayor of Accra that his initial briefing from the officers of the fire service revealed that they had challenges with getting access to water. And so that challenge delayed their arrival at the scene, which sort of escalated the fire. And that's what we've seen in the past couple of hours. Frantic efforts from all angles, 10 table ladders being deployed here and so on to get the fire doused. I just speak to a few eyewitnesses here about, you see, not generators be extra inside.
Yeah. Generators be ahanu niema ewa hanu eyadia ejato ebe shikura ana me sister pa ni store wa ha onu kurapo ni yenu ya ba ko ba be store no ana ofenti ye enti sese order hospital
ono ba be ni shop ohun
ye na ana ofenti ye.
I see. Na iti nyama go shop ni mo no de ankasa na oton.
Ono oton brazier, oton niema bebre different. Ya okofa niema no wo China dia.
Okofa niema no wo China, and Daniel, you're just hearing one of the eyewitnesses here tell me that, well, he has a sister who owns a shop within the building which is currently on fire. He mentions and confirms to me the narrative that I gave you earlier about the generators. Says almost all the shops in the building have generators, and with 9 fire tenders having been discharged, 3,000 liters of water in each of them already been discharged. Pan our camera for you to see. Still, we have the fire blazing across the floor of the second floor, and that's really the challenge. And
Manuel, I'm curious
official
to know.
responses. We are learning that the mayor, Mohamed Nia Jesoa, in the next couple of minutes will be addressing the press with the details that he's been able to gather so far. And so we'll bring you that also immediately we get a signal of his readiness to speak to the press. But he's earlier confirmed to us that there are indeed challenges with getting access to water, which is really the main commodity, or if you like, material that is used to fight the water. I speak to a few more of the market women here. Madam,
Singlets.
Singlet.
Panties.
Yeah, down here.
Chiefs. T-shirts. Fashion.
Ni she can yen okay wo ni bia me shop e.
Nyama bu. Kotoku agba. Ska.
Fashion.
Fashion lebi na boya eja to 5 million wo. Ni fe ba sha no yo je. Eko me na na moko kaya na ka wa anu.
And so she's just explaining to me in Ghana that she's one of the affected victims, really, from the ground. She sells lost ranges, underwears, and so on and so forth, singlets, and so on. And she says that all of her wares have been burnt to the ground. And as you just saw her show us, she said this is something that somebody had found on the road and returned to her. And these are just pieces of what is remaining of her wares. As this is happening, it's just unfolding. The turntable ladders have been now deployed into the building proper, and we could just get you live pictures of what's happening here. Now the turntable ladder has been deployed onto the roof of this building, which we are has a basement. And so with the challenges of getting access to water, we are learning that the tent fire tender has now arrived at the scene and is about to be discharged. So in your shot currently is the turntable ladder, which is being deployed into the roof of the burning building. You can see thick fumes emanating from the building, which gives you an indication of the fact that even after close to 3 hours of fighting this particular inferno, it still remains potent. And beneath the building, what we are seeing on the ground are just remnants and debris from the inferno, as has been blazing for the past 3 hours. And for now, though, all that we have are people, mostly traders, who have gathered around the perimeter created by the security agencies. Now we've seen the area being cordoned off to give unimpeded access to the fire service officials to fight the fire. But now outside the cordoned off area, we're seeing people standing and looking on helplessly as their wares are burnt to the ground. Wares worth thousands of Ghana cedis. For what I see, though, I could count more than 30 shops in this particular building. Now, this is a 3-story building with a basement. And so if we're going to count the shops from the basement, there's supposed to be more than 30 shops in this particular seeing. Now it's getting even stronger, the fire getting even stronger, and the fumes thicker. So the water from the turntable ladder that has been deployed is actually being discharged from the roof of the building. And as you can see in your shots, bubbles from the foams falling off from the roof. What's happening here? This building, because the place is getting
That's Manuel Kranting, my colleague, coming to us from Makola. Latest updates that we have: 10 fire tenders have been sent to the scene. 9 have already been discharged. That means about 27,000 liters of water have gone into that building. A bit more that we know. It's a 3-story building with a basement. A number of the products being sold there are highly combustible. We have clothes, We have wigs, we have cosmetics, we have lingerie. All these things can catch flame very, very easily. So those around are telling us that there are some light explosions, small explosions being heard regularly. You just heard Manuel Kranting tell us that actually they're beginning to hear that the fire may be spreading into the basement of the building. So they are hearing explosions in the basement as well. We want to get a bit of a sense of the amount of damage that has been caused by this fire, which has been raging for close to 3 hours. When it gets to the top of the hour, it will be 3 hours. So Manuel is standing by. Manuel, we want to get a sense of the damage that is being caused. What are the kind of products in there? What people have been affected the most? Manuel, go ahead.
Entra merete se obetumi pa dumuja we ya animani mu ya second floor no oja ne ntomu ye no won ye bibi faun se na be ya oja ne meto second floor because meto second floor ne dum be ade ama won.
And so he's saying that this fire service should be looking at deploying other alternative means of actually dousing the flames. And just like I told you earlier, the mayor of Accra is addressing the prayer
to look at the fire, the water pressure. But alternatively, we are thinking of also providing a borehole in some of these strategic areas and see how that can also have water to fight fire within the central business district. The population and the activities here makes this place a high-risk area all the time. So we need to be alert all the time. Fortunately, the fire stations within the Accra central area are responding to fire. I'm sure you can see as many as 5 fire tenders here at any point in time. That tells you that it is not the lack of equipment, but the challenge has been the low pressure of the water that we had experienced, and then we'll look at it.
Honorable, we can see some parts of the buildings coming up. Do we intend demolishing this building after investigations are done?
Of course, after investigation, there will be a assessment of the building, and that will point to us what we should do. At the moment, we cannot as to what we should be doing.
Do you have a clear idea of the amount of property that have been destroyed?
Not at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so you just heard the Mayor of Accra, the Honorable Mohamed Ni Ajayi-Soa, speak and address the press briefly. And we're told that he's going to address the 3 media houses.
Okay. Yo, medase media for anopa to say around 9 o'clock, and I say one of the shops, story building, eja etum, and within 10 minutes the fire service for Omubaha, those from the Makola, any ministries. Circle, they all rushed to this place with water to fight the fire. Unfortunately, say omu fighting fire no na so san ewo omu tender one to get water within the central business district. Pressure no very low. Inti omu ko echiri kakra to say circle alaju answer na omu nyan so before omu beba back. Yeah, how can now the wind is also blowing all the time and also contributing to the fire. And then thirdly, inside most of them are air cream, any air, weaving, any idea. All these things contributed to the fighting fire. But the fire service for because me who nipa bebre no more ejuma fire service now omu share omu efiata there, they all rush to this place to come and assist one way or the other, and I think that we've been able to contain the fire at the moment for now, and investigation as to what actually caused the fire, and then we'll see what to do from there. I do not.
And that's the mayor of Accra, Mohammed Niye So, who is addressing the media. He's currently doing an interaction in Tree. Earlier, we heard him speak in English, telling us basically that the fire started at about 9 a.m. and the fire service personnel were at the scene in the shortest possible time. From 9 a.m. till now, it's almost 1 p.m. That means it's about 4 hours. This fire has been raging. This fire has been fought. And we'll end Joy News today at this point. The coverage of the Makola Fire will continue on the marketplace with my colleague, Charles Aite.